Hola, amigos, and welcome to the last show on Televida. We've got a great guest for you tonight. He actually has a YouTube special out. I don't get many people that actually have specials out. I normally have to cut their clips. Not this guy. He's very professional. He's got a YouTube special out. It's called Big Dad Energy. His name is Jamie Campbell. He's hilarious. He's from Kansas City. What is Big Dad Energy? Check this out.
Holy crap, Kansas City, we sold this place out. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I took one of those ancestry DNA tests, and it turns out I am 100% part of the problem. The reason you stutter and you're bad at math is because you got freezer burn. Where a police officer would come into your classroom and dare you to not do drugs. Nothing will make you want to do drugs more. Cornucopia is your mother's safe word. How would you describe this flow? Bam! You know you need it, and X gon' give it to you.
Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's a delight to be here.
I love that title, Big Dad Energy.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. When I tour that, I have to be specific to let people know I'm not a dad. They will assume because of the title of the show that they've got to be a parent to enjoy the comedy, but I actually met my wife when we were just about to turn 40. Neither of us had children at the time. It was our first marriage.
Not a bad choice now that my kids are older.
Right? Yeah, and we realized that if we're not going to have kids now, then the clock's probably going to run out. Mm-hmm. And I always thought I would be a dad. It was not something that was like a deal breaker or like a must-have experience for me, but it was something that I took for granted that eventually I'd be a father.
Jamie, if I saw you on the street, I would bet my mortgage that you're a dad.
Everybody does, right?
I'd bet everything. Jamie Campbell, dad, I'm all in, baby.
Yeah, that's what they assume. So I've got big dad energy flowing through me because, like, when you hit middle age, you've got all of this experience and all this advice that you want to pass on, and I don't have kids to pass it on to. So now I guess I'm just passing it on to the audience.
Special. How long have you been doing stand-up comedy?
I've been doing stand-up for about 15 years.
Okay, that's right about the right time there, huh?
Yeah.
Where'd you start?
I started in Chicago.
The birthplace of comedy.
That's right.
Were you in Second City?
Yeah, I trained at the Second City in their conservatory program and their writing program, and actually started...
Second City is where it's pretty much Saturday Night Live's minor leagues, pretty much. Everybody from there. Meadows, Belushi, Aykroyd, Faye, Poehler.
All the way through, more recent days. Cecily Strong was actually in the conservatory program at the same time as me. I remember watching her SNL audition. She actually worked the box office at the IO Theater and then closed up in time to end the show with her impressions and then got cast on SNL.
Oh my gosh. People that weren't, even Odenkirk, you don't think of SNL, but I mean, all those people, Farley, and you were in that. So, all right, so that is your comedy acting, your improv heritage. Tell me about stand-up comedy.
Yeah, well, I've been in Chicago for about a year, and I decided that I wanted to start doing stand-up, and I promised myself that I would give it a real shot, and so I wasn't going to quit until I'd done 100 open mics.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you're disciplined.
Well, I didn't want to sit there at the end of my life and go, I wish I'd actually tried, because I knew that I wasn't going to be good right away.
So did you wait for 100 open mics, or around open mic 40 you said, yeah, I got this?
Well, at about 100, I was hooked. I made sure that I journaled after every one, and I remember going I'm going to do that at least 100 before I decide. But I think I knew, certainly before 100, that I was hooked and that I wanted to do it. But it took me a long time to get to where I was really comfortable and felt like I knew what I was doing as far as writing material and being present on stage with an audience.
Well, it's a good thing you did that in Chicago, because there is room to do 100. You still be doing that if you're in Kansas City.
That's true.
To 100 mics, it might be over a course of 4 or 5 years here in Kansas City, but in Chicago, there's nothing to do 5 or 6 sets a week.
Yeah, I would sometimes do 4 or 5 in a night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I would go around and I would sign up on all of the open mics so that then they were starting, and by the time I would finish the first open mic, I go to the second one, and they're already halfway down the list, and so I didn't have to wait as long.
That's kind of like a travel hack.
Yeah,
that's like
absolutely.
The weird thing about that, the great thing about this is, Jamie, as comedians know, you have a bit you don't know what works, and then you do it, it's like, and then you go home and a week passes by, and you really didn't get a chance to perfect and tweak that bit.
Yes.
But when you do 3 or 4 sets a night, it's like, okay, I got this, and by the time your 4th set rolls around, you know that's a keeper.
Yeah, and you also have that chance to go like, I wonder, what if I just switch this intro up slightly? Or if I just change this punchline? Like, this one seemed to work, but what if I replace, I don't know, Oreos with Nutter Butters? Is Nutter Butters a funnier cookie?
No, that's exactly that. This is what comics think about. Our Nutter Butters. I'm serious. Like,
Yeah.
is and how long a word is, right? Should I say licorice or Twizzlers? Well, I can get to the punchline quicker if I say Twizzlers as
Yeah.
opposed to liquor.
And you don't say Red Vines unless you're in an area regionally.
the man knows his licorice there. So. Tell me how the special came about, and it's available on YouTube right now.
Yeah,
so
it
I'm
is.
glad to get to it.
Yeah, for a limited time, it's available for free on YouTube. And actually, if you just go to my website, jamiecampbellcomedy.com, you can click on the tab that'll take you to the special. That way, if it does leave YouTube for any reason, then there'll be a link to wherever else it is on. Because pretty soon we're going to start rolling it out to some other video-on-demand services and some
Well, I
streaming
like the way
sites.
you kind of take control of it. I mean, a lot of times I know a lot of comics who've done dry bars, and it's like they do it, they're excited, and dry bar sits on it forever.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like a film, right, or something like
Yeah,
that.
well, and it's understandable. They're a company that
They've got
doesn't
a lot
want
of content. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to roll everything out at once because then some of it gets lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, but also you don't control your content, whereas you do it your way. I mean, I know a lot of Greg Warren, a lot of other comics are doing the YouTube, Joe Perry, because they control all their content.
Yeah, I like controlling my content. Don't get me wrong. If a large studio wants to pay me money, but right now the studios aren't even wanting to pay their writers and actors what they deserve. So
That's true.
I don't want them getting a cut.
No,
of
that's
what
true.
I'm putting out.
So basically, is there a goal? I mean, you said 100 open mic nights to do stand-up. What is your goal? Because we're going to try to pump it up here for the people that watch the last show. What is your goal? How many views would you like to have on that?
Oh, I mean, I would like several million. That would be amazing. Because I think the more people that you reach with what you're doing with your comedy, then the more chance that you have to get out and affect more people. For me, comedy's all about joy. And I want to connect people, have them walking out of a show feeling hope. And so the more people that see that, I'm hoping the more people will feel good. I was stuck in lockdown, and I decided to actually throw away almost all of my old material because it felt kind of cynical and negative. And I didn't think with this collective trauma the world had been through with this pandemic that we needed any more of that added into the collective consciousness. And so I decided to write this new show. And because it is so positive and joy-filled, I really do want as many people as possible to check it out.
Well, it is about joy and hope. I was just hoping I didn't have to follow you the first time I saw you. But we're going to do something we normally don't do on the last show. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll be back with Jamie Campbell on the last show.
Remember when you pooped your pants in the 4th grade? Everybody knows you cry yourself to sleep. Blink. I think your bald spot's kind of cute. Oh, that's where it all went. Oh, it's a little hair bunny. Now wacky whack it. Yeehaw! Oh, is that a new wrinkle? This guy. Oh, she's never gonna love you like she loves that food.
Honey, do you need to speak to someone about the Kristen Chenoweth in the room?
Yeah, I do.
We all have our burdens. Call or text 988 to get yours off your back.
No.
Wait a second. That was you.
What? No.
That was you with Kristen Chenoweth.
That was, yeah. I was the wife in that commercial. And I looked great.
You did look great. You know that's a big deal because I could tell my wife, I saw a comedian, he was with Dave Chappelle, who cares? I said, well, the comedian I have today was with Kristen Chenoweth. Wait, what? Wait, wait, what?
It's so true. I've done things with like big WWE wrestlers. I've done projects with Tech9, the famous rapper. But no single project that I've ever done like got me legitimized for people that are just huge fans of things like just the theater world.
Well, she's a Broadway singer.
She is. She's an Emmy winner, or a Tony winner, Emmy winner, and I believe, Yeah, I'm not sure. I think she's just like one thing
She's
away
got more
from
than you, pretty much.
She's got a lot more than me.
Right.
I did win a spelling bee in the 3rd grade, and I don't think she has that title.
So why is it? She seems like I watched all her. I went back and I watched a lot of other stuff. Why is she bad? Why did it say the Kristen Chenoweth in your house? Is she a drama person or something?
Well, the idea, because that commercial is for the 988 mental health hotline.
Yeah.
So if you're dealing with any mental health issue, this is a hotline that you can call and talk about it. Because, I mean, this is
Is that in Oklahoma or everywhere?
I believe it's rolling out throughout the United States. That commercial aired in Oklahoma, and Kristen's from Oklahoma originally.
Okay,
that's
that's
why
why.
they brought her in. However, the idea was that she would be the voice of my character's depression. And so she's up there with that just kind of voice in your head. She's making fun of, a bald spot. She's in my bed.
Were you guys in the shower together on
Yep.
that? Explain that to me.
That was a weird moment to tell my wife that I'm going to have a shower scene with Kristen Chenoweth.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll tell you, the thing about that shower scene that nobody watching the commercial knows
Let's see.
is how cold that water was. Because when you're filming,
There's not hot water there?
you can't do hot water. We tried to do hot water, but it fogs up the lenses, and so the cameras can't
Oh
pick
my
it up.
gosh.
So it had to be freezing, and she's the one in charge of the water, and she just stands there, and they go, rolling, water, and she turns it on, and immediately I tense up, and my nipples fall right off.
So now that I think about this, so every time I see a shower scene in a movie, it's pretty much cold water.
Yeah, it's terrible. People are in there, even if it's a romantic shower scene, they are going through hell.
Okay. Well, I'm not speaking of going through hell. So is she just on you piggyback there?
Oh
or-
my gosh, she rode my back. That sounds weird.
Yeah.
I gave her a piggyback ride for about 2 hours because we did so many takes. And basically, she would stand on a platform behind me. And normally, when you're filming a commercial, the director yells a bunch of different actions.
Yeah, say that.
Yeah, well, they'll say cameras rolling, sound speed, and then they'll call back sound speed, and then they say background, action, and then if anybody's like an extra or doing movement, then they start moving, then they say action, and the main actors start doing what they're doing. They had to add the direction of giddy up. And when they would say giddy up, Kristen would go 3, 2, 1. She would whisper in my ear and then hop on my back.
Oh my God.
So that then when he said action, I could just walk in and she's just hanging off my back.
Okay.
She weighs about as much as a backpack, though. It wasn't that stressful.
Well, that's good. Are you a really character actor? Is like director, what kind of shampoo should I be using? Should I be using backwash, or should it be a Grecian formula? Should it be a?
I like to ask.
Are you serious?
Well, it depends. It depends on what's going on. Like,
are you a body wash guy in this commercial or a soap guy?
well, right.
It's
Well, in
your
this
soap.
one, I just did whatever they happen to have,
Okay.
and so I think that was body wash.
Well, you don't go prepared then. You should have had your own soap.
Well, I didn't even know that I was going to be shirtless, and that's an uncomfortable thing to be on set.
Welcome to a woman's world, baby.
Right?
Uh-huh.
I have a tattoo, and I knew they didn't want the tattoo in the shot, so it was one girl's job because it's a union set, and so I'm not allowed to take care of myself. So one union girl, this poor girl, I feel so bad for her. Her job was to come in and lather up the soap to cover my tattoo.
Okay.
So she had to come in and lather up my chest, and I'm just thinking, don't act like a creep, don't act like a creep.
Baseball. that is. Oh, I feel bad for her because you know she gets home to her husband. Well, what'd you do today?
Yeah.
I lathered up Jamie Campbell.
Well, you know what? I like to think. Doesn't matter where you get your appetite as long as you're getting the meal at home.
I lathered up Jamie Campbell. She should put that on her resume. Lathering up Jamie Campbell, key grip, the audio.
It's a niche market. She's now a professional lather girl.
Okay. So that leads me into your acting part. Tell me about your acting. We talked about the stand-up in the first segment. Tell me about the acting part of Jamie Campbell.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm a classically trained actor. When I was in graduate school, I was playing like Brutus and Julius Caesar. Yeah.
I'm impressed.
I'm a dropout, though. Don't worry.
Whoa. So you had to finish first school before you get to grad school, right?
Right, yeah. I have a theater degree.
From where?
Northeastern State University in Tahlequah, Oklahoma.
Okay.
It's a great small program, so you learn also how to do lighting design, set design.
Everything. You got to be MacGyver. You got to do it all.
Absolutely. And she wasn't in the theater department, but she performed in a place called Downtown Country. Carrie Underwood was there at the same time as me. We actually both started there. That was my first ever comedy gig.
Wow.
Was performing in Downtown Country. I wrote this storyline where I was a guy from New York City that wanted to learn how to be a cowboy. And so in between their country music review, in between songs, they would teach me my character, shall we say, how to be a cowboy. And I just kind of wrote this idea because I was broke, and I submitted it because I wanted to be able to eat that summer.
Given where you're from and where you grew up, I'm almost thinking you should be more like a Jeff Foxworthy redneck kind of comic more than just a normal Midwestern comic.
I can hear that. But, when I was in middle school, I moved to South Florida, and I lived there from the age of 12 to 19. Although my grandfather owned a ranch, my father used to go by the name Joe Bob. And so there's a lot of that resonates with me, but there's also a lot that resonates with me from kind of all over the country in different walks of life.
So you go from Northeast Oklahoma undergrad to where grad?
To Oklahoma State in Stillwater, Oklahoma. And I had one semester left when I got into the comedy studies program at the Second City in Chicago, and I was going to go finish that and then finish graduate school. But I was getting work in Chicago, so I never went back.
What's the point of, I mean, I understand the study, but once you're doing it, right? I mean, the thing is, it's like going to stand-up school. Once you're actually doing it, I think you can kind of pitch off and
and that's what I did. I never went back and finished that. I think if I wanted to teach at a university, the master's degree would have been helpful, but I just want to do the work and be an artist, and so it's not that
I imagine it was
important.
being an artist during COVID, right?
Oh my gosh, just being locked down and unable to perform in front of a crowd. I started working in the screenwriting area, and I just won the Dallas International Film Festival's screenwriting competition. They're going to produce a film that I wrote called Sneakerhead. It's a horror short, and it's going to be directed by Jonathan Brownlee, a guy who's worked with Helen Hunt and Aaron Paul. So that's an exciting thing. That was a big part of my lockdown. And another thing that I did was I started learning how to make my own little videos, and I filmed a few just kind of comedy shorts that were COVID specific.
Kind of tutorials.
Some of them were tutorials. One was, I did a music video that was called Anything Can Be Toilet Paper. I think we remember the toilet paper shortage.
Yes.
But then a couple of other tutorials.
Well, in my other businesses, I own restaurants and airports. So one of those videos actually, because it deals with food, I like that. We're going to play that now with Jamie Campbell on The Last Show.
Hey, you on the internet. Are you sick of sitting at home eating the same meals over and over again? Are you looking to spice up your quarantine cuisine? Well, you may not know this, but you can make any meal new and exciting just by turning it into a sandwich. There is nothing that is more exciting than a sandwich. And as a man who has attended several parties, I should know. Most people think they can only get a sandwich in a restaurant, but that is what they want you to believe. I'm here to let you in on the secret that chefs don't want you to know. And I'm doing it for free. To make a sandwich, all you need are 2 pieces of bread and literally anything else. There are different kinds of bread: white bread, wheat bread, banana bread, pumpernickel, etc. Experiment until you find the kind of bread that speaks to you. Take yourself on a bread venture. It's time to make a sandwich. Are you ready? I recommend pausing this video, then running to grab your bread so you can follow along. Welcome back. The process is simple. First, just set down a piece of bread. Set it anywhere. There are no rules about that. Next, place literally anything at all on top of that bread. Conclude the process by setting the second slice of bread on top like a delicious little hat. That's it. You did it. Now that you know how to make a sandwich, the possibilities have just begun. What's this? A boring chicken casserole? Now it's an exciting casserole sandwich. Another boring bowl of oatmeal? Not on my watch. An oatmeal sandwich? That's the good stuff, baby. I couldn't possibly eat another bowl of vegetable soup, but you know what I could eat? A delicious soup sandwich.
Why are you putting bread on a burner?
Well, you know what? The idea was it's supposed to be funny, right? So I wanted to make it look kind of as gross as I possibly could.
Oh, you got me.
By the way, have you ever tried a soup sandwich?
No. I thought, consequently, I've dipped a lot of bread in soup. I've never done the whole soup sandwich.
This takes one of those steps out of the way. You don't have to lift as much.
That was hilarious. How many of those videos did you do?
I did probably just 3 or 4. I did That one I did when quarantine first started. I just did like quarantine tips because I remember the first couple of weeks.
It reminds me of the guy from Will and Grace who did all those little videos.
Oh, is that not Sean McCormick?
No, the short guy.
Jack.
I forgot.
Just Jack.
Just Jack, yeah. But we can get all those videos and more on jamiecampbell.com.
JamieCampbellComedy.com.
Okay.
If you go to that other site, it's all pornographic. Don't do it.
JamieCampbellComedy.com. So there's more of those videos. You're going to keep on doing that other content.
Yeah, I'm going to keep on putting things out.
Sneaker Hits comes out, I guess, sometime in the future.
Absolutely. And Morning Sickness is another horror short that I wrote that was just produced in the United Kingdom that's starting to make the film festival circuit as well. I write dark stuff for the screen when I'm not doing comedy.
180 from your comedy.
Yeah, well, you know what? You got to find those little ways to let the darkness come out. And for me, I like to hand that off and let somebody else handle it.
Or you're an entertainment sociopath where you just go really happy, joy, and then you get into the writing room and then it's just
stand-up's hard enough. You got to be a little bit of a masochist to do stand-up in the first place.
This is true. Well, Jamie, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. It's JamieCampbellComedy.com.
That's it.
He's been on the last show. His show, Big Dad Energy's on YouTube right now. Thank you so much. Adios.